okay? This next expression is the area of a square. Again, I'm not telling you to find it. I'm telling you that is the area. So then the problem says, find the expression that represents the combined area. What does it mean to combine two things?
Add.
Just add them, y'all. So all you had to do for this example was add them. So I'm literally, you had to read it again and make sure. That's fine, as long as you double check. I had some people, I know they didn't watch the notes video or read the directions on Canvas because they did every problem for homework. None of y'all, because y'all all came to the Zoom. So if I add these, what's 8 plus 2? 10x squared. Make sure you don't touch the exponent because we're just adding. What's 2x plus 4x? 6x. Make sure you're adding. And 3 plus 1 is? That's all you have to do for this one, y'all, and that's on your test. Please don't miss that on the test. I'll be very upset. People at home, y'all okay?
Yeah.
Okay, what other one do y'all need me to do besides number 4 off the homework? Do y'all want to check the other ones?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just stop recording because I'm not going to post it for everybody. Maybe give me my toolbar. So I would almost, y'all rather miss homework questions and us go over them. I bet no one's ever told y'all that before. All right, for 4, I started back recording because we need to talk about number 4 because a lot of y'all were on the right track, but you forgot something really important. What shape is number 4 talking about? A rectangle. Those of you that missed number 4, it's because you didn't draw a rectangle. Now, if you keep reading number 4, it says the perimeter, so I'm going to write this up here at the top. The perimeter is 26x squared plus 16x plus 10. And then it tells me the length is 8x squared plus 6x plus 4, and it asks me for the width. No, you didn't get it right. I don't think hardly anybody got it right. I was very upset. Let me show y'all what a bunch of y'all did. And it was like I saw y'all do this, and I was like, okay, they're on the right track. But I knew you didn't draw a shape. And Nyla, what was my first rule yesterday for all of them? Yes, that was crazy how you made your voice come out of Brooke's mouth just to, you know, I love you, Brooke. All right, I told y'all to draw. So y'all didn't listen, which is why y'all missed it. If they give us the perimeter, can somebody tell me how we normally find perimeter?
Add all sides.
You add. And so a lot of you were like, okay, they gave me perimeter, so I got to work backwards. So I saw a lot of you do this. Oh my goodness. So if that's what you did, you were on the right track, but you forgot something really important. Don't write that down. That's not correct. Thank you. Say it again, Brooke. How many of these links do y'all have? 2. So what should we really be subtracting? I totally agree with y'all. We should be subtracting. So let me come write this again. Hang on. Let me write this first. Y'all getting excited, which is good because you see what you did wrong. What do I need to subtract? Tell me now. Okay, 16x squared plus 12x. Good. Y'all are getting that from adding these 2 links together, right? So when you subtract everything in here, what is 26 minus 16?
5x squared.
Okay, hang on. 10x squared. I know what you're doing, Ash. Just hang on, okay? What's 16 minus 12? 4x. What's 10 minus 8? And then what?
Divided by 2.
Yes, extra credit. Ashley, Cameron, and Brooke. Did y'all hear them? Yes. This is how many widths?
1.
This one is 2. I only want 1. I didn't say find the widths. I said find the width. So if this is 2 and I only need 1, you guys just said, okay, divide that by 2. So somebody tell me what the width would be. He was excited. Plus 2 divided by 2. That's the width. That one makes you think. Now, did this look like any hard math? No, number 7 in the warm-up was way more work than this one, but you have to think about this one. I would put a star by this one as well. This one is also on your test. Very similar. Did you really get that right? I'm so proud of you. I couldn't remember.
I got it right too.
Oh, good job. It was a couple of you. I think when I checked homework, it was like 4 of you got this one right. So if you were one of the 4, I'll go back and look, and I'm going to give you all extra credit. So I was very good. But it's also good to miss it. So those of us that missed it, now we know what we did wrong, and we're not going to do it again. Cool? All right, let's go ahead and take notes for today. If everybody's good with this, I'm not even going to bother erasing it. Let's go ahead and switch to notes because I want y'all to have some homework time since it's Halloween. Is anybody going trick-or-treating or going to a party or something? What you dressing up as? Huh?
Y'all too old to be dressing up and going trick-or-treating.
Who said they dressing up at home?
I said y'all too old to be dressing up.
Jordan, don't be judging people. I told you what almost happened to us when my husband told a trick-or-treater that they were about to egg our house. My husband told some boy, because he did look too old. He looked about 20 years old out there trick-or-treating. My husband was like, "You are a grown tail man. You are not getting any candy." I was like, "Oh."
I plan on going to the scared. It's the islands.
That's true. All right, page 31. Today we're going to be talking about factoring the GCF. The notes are not very long. Jordan, you'll be excited. So we got unit 4B and unit 5, and then we'll be done. Isn't that crazy? And then we'll have a review, exam review. Unit 4B and 5 I also like too. My favorite units are units 3 and on. I'm not a huge fan of what we did in unit 1 and 2. This 6 weeks is about over. This 6 weeks actually ends today, and my grades are due, I believe, Tuesday morning. They changed it. It was Monday. Then we got 6 more weeks, and we're done. You don't see me after Christmas. You'll be in your new classes. Did somebody online just say yay? I know they didn't.
It wasn't me.
She said it wasn't me. It's fine. When y'all got somebody else for math 2 next year, some of y'all gonna be real sad.
If I do math 2 honors, do you promise that you're my teacher?
I don't get to pick who's in my class. Your mom can call the school and request me. But even then, if it doesn't work out with your other classes, you may not get me. Just depends. Ew, there's something nasty on my notes paper. All right, factoring the GCF. Jordan, I think you're going to like this, babe. So the first thing we got to talk about is what does it mean to factor? And that word factor is the vocab word. So this is one of your vocab words. We should know what a factor is. Remember, our vocab cards are due Monday. Can somebody tell me what a factor is? Very good. So she said it's the 2 numbers that you multiply to get a given number. So like if I say, what are the factors of 8? What would y'all tell me? 4 times 2, or another one, factors of 8. 8 times 1. There we go. You need to pay attention. All right. So what it means to factor is you're going to find the 2 things that multiply together to give you what you started with, basically. All right. So let's write this down. Factoring is the process, because we're going to be doing factoring for a whole week and a half. The factoring is the process where you write a polynomial as the two terms that multiply to equal it. That's the shortest way I could word it for y'all. So factoring is the process where you write a polynomial as the two terms that multiply to equal the polynomial you started with. Okay, so this is my next question. Can I go back to that example we were just talking about? How did you guys know that 8 was 4 times 2? Don't tell me because you learned it in elementary school. How do you know that 8 is 4 times 2? Say it with confidence. 8 divided by 8 is 1. Okay, so what they're saying in class, I'm going to say what you said, Cam. That was good. You were on the right track. Then you second guessed. They said, okay, 4 times 2 is 8. And we know that because if you do 8 divided by 4, what do you get? 2. And if you do 8 divided by 2, what do you get? 4. So if you put the 4 and the 2 together and multiply them, that is 8. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So to find factors, we can divide. Sorry, that's a little sloppy, but that's going to be the key word today. We can divide out the term in common. And y'all know I will write steps for you. So those are your notes on factoring. Now, what do the notes title say? Factoring the what? GCF. So Kershawn, tell me again, what did you say GCF was earlier? Greatest common factor. Do I need to write that? Yeah. What?
No.
Don't y'all know GCF is the biggest factor? Greatest common factor. Don't play me, because when we went over the vocab, you were like, we know what GCF is. You. Let's do an example, because he's acting like he don't know what GCF is from middle school. And if you really don't remember, that's okay, but it should come back to you quick, okay? What is the greatest common factor between 8 and 12? Mm-hmm. What's the biggest number that goes into both of those? 4. Very good. Let's do another one. What's the greatest common factor between 9 and 24?
3.
Good, 3. Y'all remember doing that in middle school?
Yeah.
Okay, so do I need to do any examples, or I can go into the factoring part?
The factor.
You feel okay with me going into the factoring part, talking about something I don't remember what GCF is? I knew you did. If you really don't, speak now. I can write down a couple examples. It's just the biggest factor that goes into both the terms though. All right, no one spoke up. So steps for factoring. Out the GCF. There are 3 steps. 3 steps and then some examples, and we are done. All right, step number 1. We're gonna find the greatest common factor. I don't ever write that out. I just write GCF, and I'm fine with y'all doing that too. We're gonna find the GCF for every term in the polynomial. Then we're going to write the GCF in front of parentheses to show it is the factor we are multiplying by. It's going to sound a little weird because it's new. But once we do a couple examples, I really think y'all are going to be okay. As long as you know how to find the GCF, you'll be okay. You guys did awesome. Like the best that my class has ever done with polynomials. That is lit. I was excited. Boy said who? Cam? We got to get you some. I'm being serious. We got to get you some medicine because you for real got the ADHD just like me. All right. And then for 3. So let me ask y'all a question. Once we find the GCF and we know that's the one number we can multiply, how did y'all say earlier that we find the second? Divide. So if you know 4 goes into 8, but you want to know how many times, wouldn't you do 8 divided by 4? So your third step is to find the remaining factor by dividing the original poly. Poly is just short for what? Thank you, polynomial. Good, I'm just abbreviating for y'all. Find the remaining factor by dividing the original polynomial by the GCF. That's it. That's your notes. Now I just got examples. I'll do 4 or 5. It really just depends on how many y'all need. What, babe? You're fine. I'm not moving on yet. I'm gonna make sure y'all all have it written and then we'll move on. How about now? We good now? Yeah, y'all are good? Cam, quit doodling. You're gonna need to pay attention. All right, everybody's good. We're ready. Oh, that eraser. All right, we're gonna factor this. Let me write that up here. Y'all don't have to write it unless you want to. We're gonna factor each example by finding the GCF. Okay, so example 1, we're gonna factor it by finding the GCF. Here's example 1. All right, does everybody agree that I gave you a polynomial? Listen to me very carefully. If it's a monomial, there's not going to be anything to factor. If I said, what's the GCF of 8? Can you do that? No, because I didn't give you another number to find the common factor between the two. So this has to be a polynomial. It's got to be 2, 3, 4 or more, okay? So I gave you a polynomial. Our first step is to find the GCF for these 2 terms. Let me ask y'all a question. What is the greatest common factor between 25 and 45? Doesn't 5 go into both of those? And it's the biggest thing to go into both of them because 25 can only be split up by 5 and 5 and 25 and 1, right? People at home, do y'all agree?
Yes.
Okay, so we know 5 is my GCF for those numbers. GCFs have to be whole numbers. Yep, very good. Integers. It can be positive or negative, but it's got to be a whole number.
This question is the negative. It's the negative 5. The negative 25.
There's not a negative 25. I'll show you what you would do if it's negative. You got to trust me. It doesn't 5 go into 25? Doesn't 5 go into 45? Do they have any other factors in common? Nope. So the GCF for the numbers is 5. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. Now look at your letters because there's also a GCF for those. And this is where y'all get confused. And I'm going to be real honest with you. I don't know why y'all get confused. The letters are easier than the numbers. How many X's do you have here? 2. Cam, make sure you're paying attention. How many X's do you have here? Just 1. How many do they have in common? Only 1, y'all. So how many X's can I put in my GCF?
1.
1. That is your first factor. So look, does everybody see how we found the GCF? So step 2 is to write it in front of parentheses because we need to show that we are multiplying. This times whatever we put on the inside, those are the 2 factors. Does that make sense why I'm putting it outside of parentheses? Because we know factors are 2 things that multiply together. We don't know what we're putting in parentheses. We're on step 2. Put the GCF outside of parentheses to show that you are multiplying. Because one more time, when we factor, we're finding the 2 things that can multiply together to give us what we started with. Write what, baby? I'm not going to write out what I just said. You can write it. I just said a whole bunch of things, so I'm not even quite sure which one you're asking me. I don't mean that ugly. I have that. Write the GCF in front of parentheses to show that we are multiplying. Okay. All right. Y'all need to pay attention because I've already had to repeat myself about 20 times. What does the last step say? You find the remaining factor. So we find what goes in parentheses by doing what?
Dividing.
Dividing the what, Jordan? Thank you. You about the only person paying attention. Good job. Dividing the what, Boo?
The GCF.
Good. What was my GCF? Good, Nala. What's my GCF? 5X. Wow, I feel like I'm talking to 4-year-olds. If y'all don't understand, I need you to ask me a question, but right now it really just seems like we're not paying full attention. I'm going to divide the polynomial by 5X to figure out what else we multiply by. So one more time, earlier when I asked y'all what the factors of 8 were, y'all said 4 and 2, and I said, how do you know? And y'all said, because if you do 8 divided by 4, you get 2. So I'm going to divide by 5X to see what the other thing I multiply by is. Okay? So everybody look, what's 25 divided by 5?
5.
5. Now be careful here. You had X squared. I'm taking out one of those X's. So how many are left?
1.
You had 2. We're taking 1 out. So 2 take away 1 is 1. All right. Then I got positive 45 divided by 5. What's that?
9.
9. Good. And then do I have any X's left?
No.
This is your answer. It's not hard, but it is new. But you guys already know how to do all of this stuff. We're just putting things you learned in middle school together. Oh my God, what did you just say? Extra credit. What did you just say, girlie? Not solve. That's not called solving. Thank you. Say it again. You didn't finish. So she said, okay, so when you distribute this, when you multiply it, you do get 25x squared plus 45x. Y'all, that's how you check yourself. That's how you know you did it right. If I do 5x times 5x, do I get 25x squared?
Yes.
Okay. If I do 5x times 9, don't I get 45x?
Yes.
You did it right. Does that make sense? Let's do another one because my boys in class are asking about a negative. So let's look at what we would do if we had a negative. Why did I just write example 1 again? Lord Jesus. All right, Cam, let's see what we would do if we had a negative, babe. I'm going to emphasize it again. My people at home, if y'all have a question, please just unmute because this is brand new. That is a Z. Y'all ask me this every time. Miss Poole puts lines through her Z's. Why? For extra credit. Good, bro. My Z's look like 2s. My 2s and my Z's look the same. So if it's a Z, I'm going to put a line through it. I hate doing, and I don't like doing the curly 2s. All right, Kershawn, what's my first step? You can look in your notes. Good job. He ain't even have to look. Find the GCF. So let's look at our numbers first. Is everybody okay with looking at the numbers first?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is the greatest common factor? What's the biggest number between 18, 9, and 6?
3.
Does everybody agree it's a 3? Okay, good. So let's write a 3 over here. Now, Cam asked me on the last problem, what would you do if that was a negative 25? So y'all look, didn't I put a negative 18? If your polynomial has a negative out front, I hope we're listening. If your polynomial has a negative out front, your GCF should have a negative out front also. They have to match. Just like when I said, what are the factors of 8? Y'all told me 4 and 2 because 8 is positive. But if I say negative 8, then that factor, that first one should be negative. We want to go ahead and take the negative out. Don't overthink it. You're trying to make it into something that's not. If the polynomial is negative, your GCF is negative. Okay? All right, now what do I have to look at besides the numbers? The Z's, good. The letters, the exponents with the letters, very good. If this is Z to the 4th, can somebody tell me how many Z's this is?
4.
4, I'm not trying to trick you, that's 4 Z's. If this is Z cubed, how many Z's is that?
3.
3. And if this is Z squared, how many are here?
2.
Good. Let me ask y'all a question. How many do they all have in common? Not all together, in common. 2. Look at them. 2. We can take 2 out of this one, and we can take 2 out of this one, right? And that's the biggest number they have in common, because listen, can you take out 3 from the back one?
No.
No, the back one doesn't have 3 to give, so the GCF for the letters is 2 B's. Is everybody good there? Okay, we just did step 1. We found the GCF. What is step 2? You can read your notes. Write it in front of parentheses to show that we are multiplying. Because remember, factors are 2 numbers that multiply together. I just found the first factor. It's the GCF. That's the first one. Now I need to find out what I'm multiplying it by. So to find out what we're multiplying it by, what goes in parentheses, what do I do? What's step 3?
Divide.
Divide by the Greatest common factor. So we're going to divide each of these. We'll put it right here by negative 3z squared. I'm going to divide everything by negative 3z squared. Divide by negative 3z squared. And that'll tell me what goes in my parentheses. Okay? That's fine. What's negative 18 divided by negative 3?
9.
Ooh, 6. Okay. If I had 4 z's and I take out 2, how many would be left?
2.
2. Very good. And y'all, you can check yourself too by looking at how many you didn't circle. What's positive 9 divided by negative 3? Negative 3. Remember, we're dividing. I had 3 z's. How many did I take out?
2.
So there's going to be how many left?
1.
Very good. Kershawn, you like this? I told you, it's not bad. You just got to get used to it. Negative 6 divided by negative 3.
18.
Positive 2 dividing. Positive 2. And then I had 2 z's. What did I do with both of them? Took them out. So this should be our answer. Shania, how can we check ourselves, babe?
Multiplying.
Yeah, you could multiply it back through and make sure it works. So everybody look. If I do negative 3 times 6, do I get negative 18?
Yeah.
If I have 2 z's here times 2 more z's, doesn't that give me 4 z's?
Mm-hmm.
Negative 3 times negative 3, isn't that positive 9? 2 z's and 1 z, isn't that 3 z's?
Yeah.
It does end up working if you checked all 3. So I need y'all to listen. We're not done. I'm going to do another one. Who is this? I don't know who that is. I'm going to let them in anyways. I need y'all to listen. If you do not check your answers, whose fault is that? Yours. You can check all of these and see if it works or not. So if you're checking and it don't work, then you know you did something wrong and you need to relook at it, right? How many more examples do y'all think we need? Maybe just one? You think you'll be good after one more, people at home?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to amp it up just a little bit. We'll do one more example, make sure we're good. Y'all are actually doing very well with this. Would y'all rather have one with 2 terms or do we want to see one with 3? Just to make sure. 3? Okay. That's a good answer. All right, let's do Kershawn. We're not freaking out, okay? I didn't mean that to single you out, but I know you're going to be like, what the heck? Maybe I should have said Cam. He's already making sound effects. He said, I like this question. This is challenging. LOL, these boys are funny. Are y'all ready? Uh-huh. You got it copied down? All right, what's the biggest number that goes into 18, 36, and 27? Good, 9. So does everybody agree 9 is the GCF for the numbers? Good, extra credit. What'd you say? What kind of 9 should it be? Look out front.
Negative.
There we go. Negative 9 is the GCF for the numbers. Very good, y'all. Okay, let's look at our letters. I'm going to try not drawing them out this time. I'll draw them out if you need me to, but let's see if we can just look at them. Let's look at our A's first. I have 3 A's here, 2 A's here, and 4 A's here. How many do they have in common?
2.
Good, y'all. So I can take out 2 A's. They all would have 2. Are y'all noticing a pattern with those? You can always take out the smallest amount. Okay, good. And then how many B's could we take out?
1.
Oh, good. Be careful. 3, 2, There's only one here, so we can take out 1B. So good, Brooke. I've got my GCF. Now we just need to figure out what we multiply it by to get this polynomial. So how do I do that? How do I figure out what I multiply it by? Divide the GCF. Y'all are doing so much better than this, or with this, than my previous kids. I am super impressed. Khalil, you can go tell Zeke I said that. It took his class a hot second to understand this. All right, I think my in-class kids are already dividing, so people at home, I'm gonna talk to y'all. What's negative 18 divided by negative 9? 2, good. I had 3 A's. Kershaw, make sure you're looking. I had 3 A's. How many did I take out?
2.
So how many are left?
1.
Very good. If I had 3 B's and I only took out 1, how many are going to be left?
2.
Very good. Matthew, Christian, Jordan, if any of y'all, and my other people, I'm looking. Kamari, other Jordan, if y'all have questions, holler at me. 36 divided by negative 9.
-4.
Negative 4, good. I had 2 A's. Now look at this. I took out both the A's. So are there any A's?
No.
I had a B. I took that out. So are there any B's?
No.
Okay, so let's move on. What's negative 27 divided by negative 9?
+3.
Positive 3. I had 4 A's. I only took out 2. So how many A's are left?
2.
And then I had 2 B's. I only took 1 out. So how many are left?
1.
Excellent work. So this is your answer. That is how you factor. Do we need another example, or y'all think you're good to go do your homework?
Good.
Okay, so listen to me before you leave. If you have another question or you want another example, don't go anywhere when I'm done talking. I can give you another one to try. Your homework is mainly like these first 2. Somebody just left when I said don't leave. Good Lord, it happens every time. So your homework is mainly like the first 2. I did put 2 at the ends that are like this with more than 1 variable, okay? It's only 7 questions. You guys have 12 minutes. Go ahead and get started. You can probably finish and not have homework. Cam said, say no more. People at home, y'all are good to go do yours. It's in Delta Math. These need work. Did everybody hear me say that? I should at least see this part where you are dividing. You turn in no work, it's a 0.